In yesterday's 20-17 win over the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets made a statement. Hey, what's going on? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I'm talking about the New York Jets statement win over the Buffalo Bills. Before we get started today, I wanted to mention where you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. Please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast, wherever it is that you get your podcast. And last but not least, this video is brought to you by BUSR, the official sportsbook of Matt O'Leary NY. Sign up using my link. You get 150% free play bonus. And also, if you enter and deposit $100, you are entered to win tickets to the Chicago Bears versus New York Jets game in a couple of weeks. Great seats right behind the New York Jets bench. And again, all you have to do is sign up using my link, deposit $100, and you are entered to win. I can't stress enough how much of a statement win that was for the New York Jets yesterday. I am still riding a high, as you should as well, on this Victory Monday. The New York Jets beat the Buffalo Bills 20-17 in arguably their biggest win since Week 16 in 2015, when they beat the New England Patriots to go to 10-5 on their season. Well, this game, you could argue, is an even bigger statement, because now the Jets sit at 6-3 heading into their bye. This is the same team that had an over-under mark at 5.5. Their win total was 5.5 for the season. This is the same team that everyone loved to make fun of over the last few years when they've won a combined 6 games. Over the last 2 years, they won 6 games. The Jets have 6 wins in their first 9 games this year. Dramatic improvement. This is the same team that people thought, oh, they could be 0-9 at the bye week. This is the same team that thought, unrealistic for them to take. Yeah, they had a nice draft, but still, this is a 4 or 5 win team. The New York Jets are legit. That's what you come out of yesterday's performance with, because people wanted to discredit so many of the Jets' wins over this year so far. You can't discredit this one. You can't. You really can't. They beat the Buffalo Bills and made Josh Allen look awful. Yes, he ran the ball well and ran for 2 touchdowns, but as a passer, he completed 52.9% of his passes. He had just 205 yards for 6 yards per attempt, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Probably should have had probably should have had even more interceptions, if we're being honest with you. Jordan Whitehead dropped one, and they had a strip sack on him. He lost the ball a couple of times, and a 46.8 rating. I mean, that's just, they made him look terrible. That's how good this Jets defense is. Their pass rush is literally fantastic. They are beyond deep at that position. They roll, literally, I think on the broadcast, they said 10 guys, but that's the honest truth. They literally rotate 10 guys, and they are that good. Quinnen Williams is playing at an elite level. John Franklin Myers is solid. Carl Lawson looks like the guy that he was in Cincinnati before he got hurt. Who else? Sheldon Rankins has had a nice bounce back year. Bryce Huff, probably the most underrated player in all of goddamn football, is playing out of his mind right now. It's just, you love to see that on the line. The linebackers, whether it's CJ Mosley, he's had a really nice resurgence. He's been very good for this team. Quan Alexander and Quincy Williams has been solid. At the corners, the Jets have the best cornerback duo in football. I don't know how you could possibly debate. I don't know if there is anyone better than DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner. Those are 2 guys who are easily top 12 at their position, if not better than that. It's what they've been able to do is unbelievable, and the safeties have been fine. They've been fine. This defense is getting better and better every single week, and making embarrassing opponents, embarrassing Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers. It's impressive stuff. They were 12-point underdogs in this game, or 13 at one point. Yeah, it came down to 10.5. They were double-digit home point underdogs and bullied the Buffalo Bills. They pushed them around. This was a team that offensively, for the Buffalo Bills, they were the number 3 team coming into this week, the number 3 team in points and number 1 in yards. And the Jets only gave up 17 points. They held them under 20 points. That's only happened one other time this year, in the Miami game, when they scored 19 points. And then offensively, The Jets jammed the Buffalo Bills the ball down their throat on that last big drive. They ate up so much time and just ran it right down their throat. And they had no answer for it. They had the ball backed up on their own 5-yard line. And they go on this 90-yard drive. And yes, it ended with 3 and not 7, which was a little bit frustrating. But they just ran it and ran it and ran it again against what was the best defense in the league coming into this week. Like, legitimately one of the best defenses in football. They pushed around and bullied without Elijah Vera-Tucker, your best offensive lineman, without Breece Hall, who was on a run to be, if not the offensive rookie of the year, in the conversation with Kenneth Walker. So that is just a really impressive win. I don't know what else you could possibly say about this football team. They really impressed you. They are a good team. They are 6-3 headed into the bye week. And after a really lousy performance against the New England Patriots, I thought the young quarterback bounced back and played pretty well. Was it stellar numbers? No, they didn't ask him to do a whole lot. He threw the ball 25 times. He had like a 6 yards per attempt, but he didn't throw an interception. He threw a touchdown pass and had a completion percentage over 70%. He did exactly what this team needed him to do. He got the ball out quicker. He didn't do any of his things where he was running backwards and drifting and trying to force throws. He was much more comfortable, much more confident. And going into the bye week, he's got a couple weeks to think about this New England game, think about all the mistakes that he made a couple weeks ago, and you could adjust. This team can hang with anyone in the league, anyone. And there are 8 more games left this year. And in the AFC, it probably is going to take 10 wins to get into the playoffs. And if the Jets go 4-4 over their next 8 games, they get there. And it might sound crazy based on just everything we've learned about this team over the last few years and just how things have gone. But they could probably even do better than 4-4 with how well they're playing. You have 3 games at home against the Bears, the Lions, and the Jaguars. And then on the road, you have New England again, which is coming up. And obviously, we know how things went, but that was still a game. And that's obviously a game that you can be competitive with. Seattle on the road is going to be a lot harder than I think anyone anticipated before the year. Miami, you have again, which obviously they just put up a ton of points, but I think the Jets can play them tough. Minnesota's a really good football team, but I think the Jets can play them tough. And then you get the Bills again. Those are your 8 games. The Jets control their own destiny going in the bye week. Going into the bye week, the Jets control their own destiny for the playoffs. They are a legitimate team in the conversation for a playoff spot. They are the 5th seed right now in the AFC. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. They arrived significantly earlier than I thought they would. For me, I thought this year would be all about growth. The young guys taking a step forward. And yeah, have they done that? Yes, but they're also winning freaking football games along the way. Incredibly enjoyable season. Incredibly enjoyable win against the Buffalo Bills. Sound off in the comments. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you next time.